we're going to be discussing maximum and minimums a little bit more and how to find them algebraically, including finding critical values. If you remember from our previous video, critical values are wherever the derivative equals 0 or is undefined. So let's talk about some of this. First of all, find the critical values of f of x equals x cubed plus x squared minus x. Critical values are where the first derivative equals 0 or where the first derivative is undefined. So clearly we got to find ourselves the first derivative. Now, it's not undefined anywhere because there is no denominator for it to equal 0 or a radical. We can plug any value in. So we just need to know where this equals 0. And we can factor into 3x minus 1 and 3x plus 1, which gives us values of 1/3 and -1. Those are our critical values. If your first derivative had a denominator, a critical value would also be where it equaled 0, because that would be where the first derivative is undefined. So, find the absolute maximum and absolute minimum of this. Well, absolute maxes and mins always come from critical values. So the first thing we have to do is find our critical values. Now, there's nowhere where it's undefined, but it could equal 0. So let's factor. And we end up with 4x, x minus 1 and x plus 1. So our three critical values, x equals 0, x equals 1, and x equals -1. Now, absolute maxes and mins can occur at critical values, but they can also occur at the endpoints. So what we need to do is find out how high or low these values are. Not only at 0, scratch that, not only at -1, 0, and 1, I want to keep them in order, but also at -2 and 3, because those are our endpoints. When we plug a -2 into our original function, into our f of x, we get an 11. -1, we get a 2, 0, we get a 3, 1, we get a 2, and 3, we get a 66. So, our absolute max is at f of 3 equals 66 because it is our highest y value. Our absolute min is at f of plus or minus 1 because they're both 2. So if they want the location of the max, it would be 3, location of the min plus or minus 1, but if they want the maximum value, it's 66. And the absolute minimum value is 2. We'll talk about this more tomorrow. The process is the same regardless of the function. You just might get a wide variety of functions.